big up, and welcome to Liverpool 12th Man Show, the home of all things Liverpool. And today we are going to take an in depth look at Liverpool's road to the Carabao Cup Final, a journey filled with squad rotation or limited, somewhat limited, but then, or actually, I should say somewhat limited, definitely limited. It's definitely squad rotation, standout performances, and crucial moments that brought us all the way to Wembley, aka Anfield South. We'll break down every match, highlight the key players, analyze some of what Arnie Slot managed to do, even when he wasn't on the actual sideline. Um, Maybe even some of the things that we might think of as mismanaged, but all the same, doesn't really matter because we're in a final, and that's the bottom line to it. Um, we are going to kick it off with our opening game in the competition, and this was an away trip to the London Stadium against West Ham United. I don't know if you guys did what I did. I was unable to sleep last night for some reason, and I have a long day, long evening ahead of me tonight. But um, LFC or the Liverpool channel had a recap of all the games that brought us to this Anfield South matchup against Newcastle. And by the way, big up Philip. I see you in the house. Big up. Appreciate the love. Um, and what it was it was a fun little ride. I was definitely I don't know if anybody was watching along with us, that those Reds, or not all Reds, but certainly a good number of Reds, majority Reds in the chat. We all watched along as we as we had to occasionally occasionally tell some of the people in there that it wasn't live and this wasn't the final. It's all good. And also, big up Lee, big up Lee. If you're able to join, I hope that you can. If not, I understand. A few trolls, certainly a few trolls. There's a couple of PSG spammers in the group. That was a pretty annoying situation, but all the same, we got through it. Um, and yeah, it was something to behold, I would say. And what I mean by that is that it was a fun little ride, a fun little, like, I guess, um revisit, to games that certainly some were better than others. Some were definitely some were tough watches, but and I mean like tough watches in the sense of, obviously, it's a good watch that we won, but maybe not necessarily, the gameplay that was going on. But in the end, you know what, we got there true and true. And again, it was definitely a fun little ride. I ended up watching all the games. It was pretty wild. I ended up watching, not all of them. I didn't see the West Ham game in its entirety. So that one I missed a little bit of, but then again, I saw pretty much the better parts. Let's say it that way. Um, and big up to Alexander. Big up to Red Armchair Supporter. Good to see you all. Um, Down the banks, I got you. I got you. Um, so yeah. So I guess what we can do is just like basically just go over some of the games, and kind of like what I was gonna, or at least try to do today, was just not only go over some of the games, but also um, kind of highlight some of the finer points of the games. Maybe go down like memory lane with you a little bit, so you can kind of tell me what you guys or can remember, or even got to see. Maybe if you did see it this morning or this afternoon. It was morning for me. It was like, I don't know, like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning or something like that. But it was probably like the afternoon, if not even close to getting into the evening hour for you guys out there in the UK or in Europe. Um, but again, first game on the bill was our third round matchup against West Ham United. This was obviously very, very early matchup the in the early stages of Arnie Slot's uh, tenure, and it was at London Stadium. It was a couple of different little situations for us in that uh, Curtis Jones opened the scoring with a composed finish from the edge of the box in the 22nd minute. Then the action was leveled by West Ham, but I believe Darwin Nunez was the hero in that game by once again making a really, really important precision attack for us, and we ended up winning that. Key players in that game, obviously, and a key player I think and I hope will get involved in his final. What was kind of wild, and it made me think about it, and I will continue with this whole thing. And I got some trivia as well to go along with us. So hopefully you'll take part in that. And since I'm solo for today until possibly some of the crew join us or possibly join us, I will just ask some questions in the sense of I will ask some of the questions to just the chat, and we can see if you can beat the quiz master here. Hopefully, I got all my questions right. I'm sure if I didn't, I will be certainly told that I did not. So, um, yeah. So I was thinking too. What was very interesting is if you remember too, Kelleher has played the majority of these games, and um, I do mean majority of these games. He was the, obviously he started off the break. We obviously didn't have Ali to be a part of the games early on, and even more so towards the middle of the other thing because or our campaign primarily because he was injured. But it got me thinking. I wonder if he is going to play in that first or his play as our first keeper, our number one keeper for Sunday. And I think why I asked that question is because what was very interesting is we went Ali in that 1-0 or in that first game against Tottenham, and in the second game we went with Kelleher in that game. And it's very interesting to see what Arnie's going to do with that second round, or not second round, excuse me, but the final. That will be very, very big for us. It'll be a very big opportunity for us to get and host our first trophy of the year. So I'm looking forward to see what he decides on doing. If you can with me, I guess it is kind of a little bit of like a DeLorean ride here at DeLorean by going back a little bit into the past. Let me see what you guys are. First, let me ask you what you guys are thinking about that, what I just said, which is, do you think that Ali's going to get the start, or do you think that Kelleher will get the start? Again, I'm pushing, or I'm campaigning to see Kelleher get the start. It's no love lost to Ali. Obviously, I think that Ali is obviously our number one. He's obviously someone that is, an incredibly important part of our team. However, this is, in my mind, this truly is Kelleher's Cup. Sounds bad, but it is truly Kelleher's Cup. Yes, I think it is like that. I'll even put it up there for you, MK Toe. Big up. Calaboo. I guess you say Calaboo Cup. Yeah, definitely so. So it is something to kind of think about. I see that Abdul thinks Arnie Slot will won't want to risk losing tomorrow and win a cup, so he's going to put Ali in. I don't know if putting in this is my opinion too, Abdul. I don't know if putting in um, Kelleher is a risk. I really don't think so. I think that um, I think that he's proven his worth in this competition. He's gotten us there in this competition. He even has a better record than Ali in this competition. So so yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing Kelleher start. I honestly wouldn't. But this is going to be an interesting question. Certainly going to be a very interesting question to see what our coach goes with in that final. Um, but again, I don't know if you remember that game. If you guys can, I know it's gonna be tough. I'm trying to try to give you as much of the context in what happened in the game as possible, so that you can maybe like sparks whatever synapses need to be for you to remember. Oh yeah, that part of the game or something like that. Or oh yeah, that game I remember now. So that we can have a little conversation. But when we started this Liverpool journey to the final, being that we only won that game 2-1, were you a little bit iffy on our pursuit of this cup? Or I mean, considering it was West Ham, who at the time were pretty poor, to be honest with you, pretty poor. Um, were you Were you optimistic? Did you think, oh, well, it's no big deal. We'll just get through this. Oh, it was just a little bit of a, it was a little bit of a glitch, or whatever you want to call it. Um, it's just one of the questions I have for you guys because it was a little bit of a I want to say rocky road for us at first, but I mean, it did mean that we were certainly going to be going into something of a ride for our games. Oh, let me make sure too. And to see what you guys are thinking. We're only going for 2 trophies now, which are EPL and EFL. Out of the, let's see, out of the UCL and with PSG and FA Cup. Yeah, I think Norm thinks Kelleher will start. Would you be angry if he started, Abdul? I mean, like, or others out there that don't necessarily see it as being a given that that excuse me that Kelleher is worthy, I guess you'd say, of starting this or playing in this game. Big question. Big question. Big up, pops. By the way, big up, big up. I think so. Would be Kelleher. Okay. All right. All right. Simple as. Simple as. Um, I'm gonna pull up the game as well as we speak as well, and kind of relive it that way too. Evening High Lord, big up Pops, big up Norm, big up Red Armchair Supporter, big up Abdul, MK Toe, Philip, even Lee in the house, and Lee chilling in the chat. Um, but yeah, that first game against our first game that we had to take on because it was a cancel game, excuse me, and then I said 2-1, I meant 5-1, excuse me. It was a game that really opened up and got us going in that game. I actually had a different score posted, but um, give me 1 second. and I will post the link for you guys. I'll post the link for you. Um, he says he would all. Norm is saying he would also start. Um, he would also start Endo ahead of Gravenberg. I would too, by the way. I would too. I would not mind seeing us kind of get a little bit of the legs back um, for him because he definitely needs. He's looking like he's going through a little something. I could say he's definitely looking like he's going through a little something. Which what I mean by that is going through a little something to find his way of the getting his that that gravy back, that rightful gravy back. 1 second. All right, I'm going to post this for my brethren here so they can join us. Definitely, so they can join us. So again, when I saw this match, okay, so this was oh, okay, I know why. I put in the wrong one. I put in the 2023, for instance. My bad. But it was 5-1 in this game. It was 5-1. We had scores from Cody Hackbo. We had a brace from Cody Hackbo. We had Salah scoring as well, and we had 2 goals from Diego. Back in the day when Diego was scoring at will, actually. And this game was full of goals by Liverpool players. Unfortunately, it was also inclusive um, of a own goal actually by our possible starter at right back tomorrow, Kwanzaa, who has certainly made a journey towards redemption for his pursuits. He's definitely made a road to redemption for himself because there were parts and points where it didn't look good after that Ipswich game for Kwanzaa. But it's been a road that's been definitely one that he's navigated pretty well in the sense of not giving up and certainly doing his best to regain his form and keep his stature. Uh, the Gorgon will be our versatile sub. He can go to center back, right back, and CDM. It's very true. I agree with that too. That's a good point. I agree with that. It could be a case too where you might even, all things considered, you could still start. You could start him and still be able to. Um, you could start him at. You're not most likely you're not going to start him at right back, but you could start him at CDM and then be able to transition him to that back line or transition him to another portion. We all know that he's got an incredible engine on him, uh, and he can definitely patch into the reserve tank. I just want to make sure that we don't get out bullied in the midfield. Most likely, that's my main concern for it all. But then again, I have I had a lot of different notes on here, but I'll ask you this first round of I'll just ask you this first round of trivia. And since we have Lee with us right now, be it's Lee versus the world. It's Lee versus the world. Unfortunately, he getting a deep end. How you doing, Lee?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you're like, oh, I didn't sign up for this, but
It's cutting out a little bit, the sound.
it's cutting out.
Yeah, it's a bit busy. I can't really catch your words.
Okay. Let me make sure that I have my audio set up properly.
That's better. That's coming through now.
It's coming through now. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
better.
trying to get a little bit closer to the microphone. So I'm gonna ask this round of trivia for you guys, and it's going to be a bit of easy settings for the chat, considering that they They have Pops. They have Norm in the house. I don't know if Bernie is a part of the crew yet or not, but those are definitely the ringers. But it should be interesting to see how well you guys do in this set of questions. You guys ready for some trivia? You ready for some trivia, Lee? Because I
Yeah,
have
sure.
basically after every game that I review, I'm going to bring up a few questions of trivia, and we'll keep a running tab.
Okay.
All right. You want to go first? Or you want the chat to go first? I'll ask it like that.
Let the chat go first.
All right. Well, that's all right. It's up to you. All right. What year did Liverpool win their first League Cup ever? In which year did Liverpool win their first ever League Cup? And Norm is correct on that one. 1981. That would be correct. That would be correct. That would be correct. All right. Question to you, Lee. Because Liverpool defeated West Ham, I think.
West Ham, yeah, of all teams. West Ham weren't bad then. I think they got to the FA Cup final in 1980. It was a decent West Ham side, but we were too strong for it. Like,
all right.
To be honest, it's a little bit before my time. 81, yes, I was alive. But you know what I mean? This isn't far after 81. This picture of me in the avatar. But some of them sort of like passed me by. I do remember the next year's one much more clearly because Ray Clements was in goal for Tottenham, and it was his third season at Tottenham after leaving Liverpool. So I remember that one clearly. And then the 1983 one against Man United, we got our first ever VHS video recorder, and we got a free tape with it, a 180 tape. 3 hours to record, and it had the Man United final on it, like that we were given, at the store. We rented it like from a store. We rented our VHS, our VCR.
How about this? For those in the chat, that don't know what VHS is,
yeah, there may be some.
There are some people that are probably like VH who.
Well, to be given Liverpool beating Man United in a final at Wembley as your only thing to watch, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yes, brilliant. Before we bought our own tapes.
Yeah, about to say those are times when you had to hit rewind actually to get to the part that you wanted to see. How about that? There was just no
Yeah, I used to be dead. I used to be quite anal about me VHS tapes. I'd make football tapes, full of Liverpool highlights when they were on Match of the Day and that. And I'd take the highlights, but I always cutting out all the bits of rubbish and that and getting them exact. You know what I mean? Like,
wow. You're a little VHS perfectionist, I take it.
Yeah, that type of thing it was with I used to do it with music as well. Did you? Probably back in the day, you'd record videos off TV if there was a music show on, etc. But anyway, sorry, I digress. It was just going back to those early League Cup.
It's a good memory lane of VHS there. Oh man. All right, I'll ask this question for you then. Simple ones, 1-0. I'll ask you this one. How many League Cups have Liverpool won as of 2025?
Okay, I mean, because
how many League Cups have Liverpool won as of 2025?
This is for me, this one, yeah.
For you.
How many have we got?
No, looking at the chat.
Yeah, I think it might be. Is it 11?
Oh, you're in the future. You are in the future.
Oh, it'll be 11 if we win tomorrow.
Yes.
Ah,
It is 10. It is 10. Yes, you are correct, chat.
I thought we just
You can tell
about
he's not
passed
looking at the
10
chat,
mark.
people. You can tell he's not looking at the chat because he didn't get that one right. That's tomorrow. That's right, Pops. That's right. We're the most successful club in the competition's history, and we are certainly looking to add to that. All right, here's one for the chat. Who is Liverpool's all-time top scorer in the League Cup Finals? Who is Liverpool's all-time top scorer in League Cup Finals? Who is Liverpool's all-time leading scorer Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? And this is not for this isn't like all this isn't a League Cup, like as in all of the League Cups or games, just the finals. Just in the finals. Norm's going Whelan. Okay. Dustin's guessing Rush. A lot of Rushy. You would think so because Ian Rush has the record. Hope I'm not giving a question for later. But Rush is the leading goal scorer in League Cup. However, the leading Liverpool's all-time top scorer in League Cup finals is King Kenny. King Kenny is the all-time leading goal scorer in Cup finals. Cup finals. All right. Let's get into another one. I have another one. This one's for you. Lee, who was Liverpool's manager for their first League Cup win?
Bob Paisley.
Mm-hmm. It was. Yes, you are correct. I don't know if that was like a question or an answer. All right, I'll take it as your answer.
Yeah, Bob Paisley. Yeah.
No, yeah, I said that too. So I tried to make it distinctly like, I tried to make it distinct in the saying, who is Liverpool's all-time top scorer in League Cup finals? In the final, not in all of them, not in all the games or all the lead up. Because Rush is the leading scorer, our leading goal scorer of the League Cup. You're correct about that, but not in the actual final. So, all right. How about this? No worries. I'll ask you this question. At least you guys made it interesting because normally you get all the questions right. So at least it's 1-1 right now. This one is for the chat. Which club did Liverpool defeat to win their most recent League Cup final? It's a layup for you guys. It's a layup. I'll just put it down as being correct already. And if you can, tell us. Yes, easy. That was an easy one. Yeah, it is easy. It is Chelsea. Yes, it was Chelsea. All right. Back to it. Solid start by the chat on these questions. Solid start by Lee on these questions as well. That brings us to our next opponent that we had to face in our route to Anfield South, and that was a nice campaign or a nice game, a nice trip to the coast, where we ended up going up against Brighton Hove Albion, right? Albion, Brighton.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Okay, you're saying that we played Brighton in the League Cup at some point.
Yes, that was our next game.
Okay.
That was our next game. Do you remember that game by any chance? We ended. Do you remember? Can you remember the score? Maybe.
No, I can't remember.
No.
I can't really remember playing Brighton in the cup.
Yeah, we played. You know what was unique about that game was we played them. We played them.
Oh, this season, yeah, this season we did,
Yeah.
didn't we? Not long before we played them in the league. Yeah, we played them a few days before we played them in the league, didn't we? In the cup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The score was it 3-1 to us? Was it the score against Brighton in the League Cup this year?
Mm-hmm. We have. We played Brighton, and that was the game where we played them back to back. Actually, we played them in the league, and then we played. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, Norm. I'll double check for you, Norm. I'll double check for you. I will double check for you. Norm does not like to be beaten. I'll double check. I'll put an
Yeah,
asterisk up for
Calgary scored one against West Ham in 81. Whelan got 3. Whelan got 2 against Spurs in 1982 and 1 against United, the winner, a lovely curler, in 1983 to give him 3 in the finals. Rush scored 1 in the Spurs final when Whelan scored 2. Rush scored the 3rd and final goal. And Rush scored in 87 when we lost the final to Arsenal 2-1, the first time we'd ever lost in the game Ian Rush had scored in 87. And there is 2 League Cup final goals that I remember. So I'd say it was Whelan.
Okay. I'll
Kenny,
double check.
Kenny only got 1, and that was against West Ham in that first final. And then Hansen got the winner.
Maybe Google got it wrong for me. Sometimes it does that for me. Does that?
I think he did. I know what, I was going to bring it up myself, but I didn't think it was worth it. But seeing as how Norm's brought it up, like, we will go there. I think they've done
I know. I already know that. I was going to say, we played Brighton and we won 3-2 in that match. That was a 3-2 winner for us. So 3-2. Oh, I appreciate it, Norm. I do not mind being corrected.
I was straight in my brain too, thinking any other Kenny goals? No.
Yeah, Google had it as King Kenny for some reason.
Yeah, 3 for Wheeler, I think. I was thinking of Stevie as well, but Stevie, I mean, he only scored that one against United, didn't he, in 2003? So it's not like I don't think it's a modern player. It will probably still be Ronnie Whelan.
Okay, that's why I appreciate having the chat here. They keep me honest.
Google, man.
They keep Google honest.
Fallible, isn't it? It's bloody fallible, that thing.
So Brighton was our next game. Brighton, we ended up getting that Brighton game was actually pretty much of it was a little bit of a nail biter. In that we were up 2 goals early, and then they surged for a quick second. Then Diaz had a goal to kind of give us a little bit of a buffer. So it was 3-1. And then they scored again in the 90th minute, which made it a little bit tighter than we wanted to be. But we ended up holding on and getting that victory. It was unique because that game was a game where we played at their stadium for the League Cup, but then we went home to play the league game at home. So it was almost like a home and away fixture almost. It was kind of a cool little situation in that even though they were different competitions, it still ended up being a pretty cool situation. But yeah, Kwanzaa, once again, he got in. Kwanzaa ended up getting subbed out from that game, and Kanate had to finish that match. which was kind of okay, Ant. Good to see you. Good to see you, Ant. Um. Anyways, it was a good one to get in and the likes. Um. It was one that I don't know if you do remember. Do you remember that game at all? By the way, the 3-2.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do remember that game quite well because we weren't in like top form when that game took place, and he did give us a bit of a worry. But like finishing them off, it gave us the stand to go and beat them in the league, then didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Which we dutifully did. Um, yeah, I do remember it quite well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember ever facing Brighton in the cup very often over the years, like in either cup. I've been drawn against Brighton that many times over the years.
Yeah. Um. We've only faced them twice, and we are 2-0 against them in this competition. No problem. No problem. Um. It is kind of a sign, but yeah, we've only faced them twice. And can you remember the last time? I'll make this a trivia question for you for the chat to make up for that for the King Kenny question. Then, when was the last time we faced Brighton in the League Cup? And I'm going to ask, what was the score? What was the score? When was the last time we faced Brighton in the League Cup? Before this year's matchup against Brighton, we faced them one other time. Can you name the time that we did?
Oh, that's a tough one. That. Who's this for? The chat or someone
For the
else?
chat, it's to make up for it. It's to
Yeah,
make up.
this is a tough one. This.
All right, all right. You guys gonna go with Ant's answer? He's got the score, possibly the score. This way, I'm just waiting to see if anyone in the chat gives an answer without Googling it, obviously. But even Google can sometimes lead you wrong. Even so. So you gotta be careful. I gotta be more careful. No, from Norm. Norm doesn't know this one. I'm surprised, Norm. I'm surprised you weren't. Let's see if you were. Let's see if they could have been at this game. Possibly could. Yeah, no. I know. No, nope. That is. It's this. It is. Oh, you're saying no to Norm to Ant's answer. I got you. I got you. I thought you were saying no, you don't know. But all right. All right, I'm gonna need an answer. If not, I'll let Lee snag this one. This is like a bonus, a bonus question, off the cuff question.
Oh, mate, I haven't got the foggiest when we
You got
last played them in the League Cup before this
you're gonna
season.
go no steal.
Yeah. There's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there.
I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see if they can get it. Waiting to see.
All I can tell you is I like Brighton's badge because it's got a seagull on it, and I find seagulls amusing. They are funny birds, them aren't they, seagulls? Especially when they go after like food and that.
All right. I'm just gonna give you the answer since I don't think anyone's coming up with the answer. So, Ant's answer was technically incorrect in that it was not Brighton who won the last time we met. It was Liverpool who won. And it was 2-1 that we won that game. And it was 14 years ago. 2011 was the last time we saw them in the League Cup. 2011. Maybe it was so close of a game because Mr. Michael Oliver was the referee of that game. But
Ooh, hit. Ooh, hit.
exactly. But yeah,
The devil incarnate.
yep. 2011. Um, all right. Let's get back to it. But yeah, this game was 3-2. Uh, um, was a good game. Was a very good game. Again, this as Norm said, it got a double out of Cody. It was kind of like the birth of not birth, but it was kind of like that resurgence of Cody being a real goal scorer in there. Big up, Brian. Big up, Brian. Yeah, it was a unique situation where we had the back to back 1-3-2. We moved on, and it was definitely a good outcome for us. I think it was definitely a good outcome for us. So I'll ask you this question. All right. Let me see. Um, Lee, which Liverpool goalkeeper played a key role in the penalty shootout of the 2012 League Cup final? Pretty much all these questions deal with the
Yeah,
League
that's
final, by the way. They're all League Cup final questions. So it's not League Cup history, it's more League Cup final history.
yeah, it was still Pepe won it in 2012. It was the
That would
Peps
be
that won it
correct.
against Cardiff.
That would be correct. Um all right. I'll ask the chat this one. Um who scored Liverpool's only goal in the 2016 League Cup final against Manchester City? Who scored the only goal in the League Cup final against Manchester City? Open play, not open play, but regular, yes, regular time, I guess you could say, goal. All right. Like I said, you guys got a ringer. This guy was probably at the game, so that's probably why he knows that. It is Felipe Coutinho. That is correct. His goal forced extra time. Unfortunately, that wasn't that wasn't a League Cup final to remember per se, but at least we got made it go to extra time. All right, I'll ask this one then to you, Lee. What was significant about Liverpool's League Cup win in 2001? What was significant about the League Cup, Liverpool's League Cup win in 2001? Okay, let me see if I can make sure that my microphone stays correct. Hopefully you can hear me. But
So
what
what
was
was significant about it? Well, it was significant in a few ways, as it was the first leg of the treble, but it was the first trophy that we've won in 6 years since the 1995 League Cup. It'd been a long old drought, a long old trophy drought.
It was significant because the treble's first trophy, the treble that we won in 2001, was the first. Yes, absolutely. Treble first trophy. I like it. All right. How about this then? Um, um, Can you name what trophies were a part of? Oh, let me make sure I give you credit for that correct score. Can you name the trophies that we won in that treble? By the way, just for an extra credit.
Yeah, League Cup, FA Cup, and UEFA Cup.
Well done.
What is now the Europa League?
All right, I'll give you a half point for that one. All right. Liverpool won 4 consecutive league cups between 1981 and 1984. Who was the only club they beat twice in those finals? Who was the only team we beat twice in those finals? So there was one team we beat twice in that 4-peat run.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Who was it?
I don't think we did, It was West Ham, then Spurs, then Man United, and then Everton with the 4 clubs we beat in them four finals, 81, 82, 83, 84. West Ham, Spurs, Man United, then Everton. It was a replay with Everton. It was extra
technically,
time with Man United and Spurs.
right. Technically, we played. I meant to say we played a team twice. We didn't beat them twice. We played a team twice. My bad. We played a team twice in the final. What team did we play twice in the final? On our road to the final. Well, yes, along the way. In the final stuff or along the way. Trying to get to the final. What team did we face? Because let me make sure. We played West Ham in one. Then we played another team and another team. I'm not gonna give it away. And then
I might be wrong, but I think West Ham was a replay as well.
Mm-hmm.
Everton.
Well, yeah. Yep. West Ham was the replay. Technically, we played West Ham. That was the question. It was
Spurs and Man United both took us to extra time as well in those finals. They were hard fought, like all 4 of them.
Right. We technically played West Ham twice because it was the 81 was a replay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Fat Frank Daddy.
And 84 was
Pitney Bonds and all those geezers, Trevor Brooking.
Yep, 81 and 84 were both replays. So I would have taken either West Ham or Everton as being answers.
I know, mate. I went to Wembley in 84. It was rubbish. And, like, mind you, I don't think the replay was even that good, but at least we did score a goal in that, like, at Main Road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a disappointing first visit to Wembley, that.
All right, I'll follow up a question for you, chat. Who scored the winning penalty for Liverpool in the 2003 Cup Final? Who scored? Who scored? No, excuse me. Who scored the goals? Actually, who scored the goals in the 2003 League Cup Final? Not the penalty. I'm getting ahead of myself. Who scored the goals in the 2003 League Cup Final?
First one's etched into my memory forever.
Mm-hmm. It was Mike Owen and Stevie G. That is correct.
I'll
give you bonus points
if you outstretched boot, didn't it, to add comedy value to proceedings.
Yeah, I'll give you bonus point. I'll give you a bonus point if you can tell me what was the if you can tell me who got the assist in that game. I'll give you a bonus point if you can tell me. Oh, I just realized that we have other people in the. You guys are quiet too. My bad. Nalante and Brian. I did not see you guys join. I didn't hear the usual beep when you guys do. My fault. How are you guys doing, by the way?
Fine, yeah. I've only been here 10 minutes.
Oh, my
Yeah.
bad. I did not. I'm too busy trying to make sure that these
Then for Brian, I've been waiting 25 minutes. And then Brian
Yeah,
came
I
on. I was
added no
thinking,
answer.
yeah,
My-
Brian added me.
Sorry
Shame
about
on
that.
you, 12.
Sorry, it was just me
Usually it's
waffling
helped
about
me.
them 80s
Everybody that was
finals.
doing
Like,
Exactly.
That's why.
See, Brian had to get me in. Otherwise, I would have been here till Christmas.
There you go. All right. So that one is correct. Norm's got one of them. Can you name the other person that got the assist? Chat. This is for the chat. You guys, looks like you got some backup help, Lee. By the way, for these questions. Can you name? And if not, I'll let you guys do a steal for this question if they can't get it. Who got Stevie G's goal assist? All right, Norm got it right too. All right, guess you guys aren't going to get the steal on that one.
photographic memory or no?
Yeah, that's a really good memory, by the way. He has an excellent memory.
Marvo the memory man.
Yeah. Well, the next game that we had was Southampton, and it was a torrential downpour. I will say this was like Arnie Slot wasn't on the sidelines for this game. I wish I'd have to do some real research to find out whether he's got the most like no, like as in how many times he's been absent from being on the sideline for us for our first year coach, because he's gotten a couple of either like suspensions this year, but he wasn't on the sideline for this one. This one was the one that we went to Southampton and went to St. Mary Stadium, I think it's called, right? And won that game 2-1. I will say this: I watched this one in its entirety, and it was an absolutely interesting game in that Kwanzaa could have easily been given a penalty in that game, in a sense, or given a penalty for possibly, quote unquote, taking down the Southampton player. I don't think it was a penalty personally, but then again, I do have some bias. I am openly admitting that. And we avoided getting them, or at least giving them the opportunity to at least try to equalize on that opportunity. We had an absolute, I think that the first goal by Nunez in this game was an absolute beauty. It's something that I wish we saw more of, or at least he got more of the opportunities to do. It was a one-on-one with the goalie. He ended up putting it right past him. It was a really, really well taken shot. And then Elliott had a really, really great goal too, as well. Absolutely pocketed the goalkeeper by putting it past him for our second goals. Those two goals were early in the first half. We were up 2-0 in that game, and then it went to then it was going to be one. They were going to score a goal in the long run at the 58th minute. Okay, we got a little bit of the ops in the chat, but big up to Mighty Mag, Newcastle United.
Good to see you, mate. Good luck for tomorrow.
Football Club Talk TV. Okay, I got you. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Would be interested to hear what your thoughts are with the game and what your thoughts are about the outcome for this upcoming game. We're going to get there certainly, but this game was unique. I thought Southampton Liverpool was a unique game because we're going against a low block team in Southampton at the time. They lined up with a 5-4-1, often sometimes being a 6-3 or sometimes 6-7 players in that back line. And what was very unique about this game was that we saw quite a bit of rotation. We saw Cody in the front line. We saw at the time Cody wasn't a regular starter. We saw Darwin in the front line. We saw Harvey Elliott in the front line. McAllister was in that midfield, but we also had Morton and Leone start that game. We had Gomez. Let me say this: that game, watching Gomez play, makes me miss him even more in the sense of not being a part of our back, being an option for our back line. I think he would have made a real difference for us at some aspects of the game for us during this campaign. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to provide that service with the injury. It also had Endo starting at left center half, by the way. It had Kwanzaa in it, and it had our team be led out by, at the time, our captain. He is our vice captain, but he was our captain for the day, Trent Alexander-Arnold. And we had Kelleher in net. Anything particular about that game that really stood out to you, by the way? Because there's one particular, there are a couple particulars about that game that I do remember that were important to note. But is there anything that you guys remember about that game that stood out for you? I know sometimes you're not. I know sometimes memory lane isn't exactly your fortes, but Brian,
I'll let one of the other guys speak. Like,
yeah, Brian Levante.
I don't know. I don't know what's the question.
No, do you remember? Was there anything in particular about that game that stood out to you, or anything that you guys remember?
The League Cup game away to Southampton.
The Southampton away game was in that absolutely. It was raining so much that it was windy too, as really windy too, to the point where like the rain wasn't coming down; it was like going sideways, basically.
Yeah, it was an horrible mucky night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Only at St Mary's, the south coast of the country. It's a typical December.
Typical December, I got you.
Yeah.
Trent was subbed off in that game, by the way. He was subbed off at halftime for Chiesa, actually. Chiesa came in that game. Got onto that game.
My best memory is the Nunes goal. That was that nice curler, wasn't it? That's the most memorable thing about it for me. If it was that game, if my memory is correct, he scored that nice curler from out on the wing. It was an outrageous position he was in, like, and to get it. That's when he can do that occasionally, can't he?
Yeah, two great finishes from Nunes and Elliott, and then Chiesa's cameo after halftime just gave a lot of promises, positive signals for that game. McConnell obviously playing. I think did Tyler play? I'm sure was Tyler. I'm trying to remember if Tyler started or came off the bench. I'm sure Tyler played.
Yeah, I think he did play.
Yeah.
Did he more?
And he moved into right back. Yeah, I think he moved into right back. Yeah, so there's some good promising stuff.
Tyler Morton started that game.
Yeah, okay. And I know he moved him to right back when Trent came off, I remember. It's a good performances from certain players that don't get games, and it was it was a decent night, and Southampton, well, had a little comeback and nearly, but it was decent.
I thought it was one of the unique experiences that we got to see, not only a rotated squad, but also in the substitutions that he used. There were, Diego got some minutes in that game. McConnell got some minutes. We spoke on Chiesa coming in at the 46th minute or at halftime. Simicast came into that game for Joe Gomez. Jaden Dans got into that game as well for Trey Leone late. Leone almost got a full game out of it, actually, to tell you the truth. He got subbed in at Okay. All right, Norm. He got in there.
Make sure you put the seat up.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, I'll give you a good one. I'll give you a good one. Hold on. Give me a second. I'll get one for you. Da, 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 da. Okay. Mhm. Okay. What was? Let's see. Let's see. Okay, here's a tough one. What was our starting lineup in the 2005 League Cup Final against Chelsea? Norm gets a lot of these, so that's why I'm giving him a real tough one. What was our starting lineup?
That's a game I easily forget because I want to. But it was so close before Istanbul, wasn't it? That we did literally forget about it. But it's one, yeah. That well, I tend to. I'm only speaking personally. Like I tend to forget that final.
Is that for the chat? Is it 12?
Yeah, it was for the chat. It was for the chat.
Okay.
I can make it a little bit, I guess, easier if they don't want it. If that's too hard, you think that's too hard for that? Is that too hard of a question?
No, that's a good question, to be fair. They've got Norm in there, but Bernie, they'll figure it out.
I know he normally will. Okay, Hippia. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3. I'll put it up so I can see there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, you're missing a couple players. Ooh. Okay. All right. How about this? I'll give you one more stab at this because that is incorrect. Name the subs for that game then. How about name the 5 subs? That'll be a little bit easier, maybe. I'll give you the starters. The starters were Dudek, Finnan, Hippia, Rise, Traore, Carragher, Cool, Stevie, Garcia, Didi, and Fernando Morantes. Can you give me the 5 subs then? Because that was incorrect with the starting lineup. I'll give you this one's a little easier. Five players were on the bench. Can you give me the five on the bench? Can you name the 5 on the bench? Yes. Whoops. He was a starter. Can you give me the 5 players that were on the bench for that game? And to the panel, what was the score of that game?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. 3-2, Chelsea.
Yeah, that it was. So you're going Nunez. You're going. Ooh. Wow. Definitely mark your calendars. This is like one of the first to get. This is one of the first times I've seen Norm get a couple wrong here. First times, but it happens. It happens. Maybe it's because he's got to go to the bathroom so bad. That's maybe he's not thinking clearly, and that's why. All right, all right. You guys want to take a stab at it? Can you name the five subs? One of them's obviously a goalkeeper.
So that would have been Kirkland. Morian is started. No, he would have been. No, Shaw broke his legs.
Norm, the goalkeeper you just put is one of the subs. And
Warnock.
Warnock. Oh, no. Okay. I'll give you the subs. These were the subs that we had to choose from that day. Whoops. Barros, Biscon. Yeah, you got. I think got some of them. I think I just put it in there. It Pop did well. He got 3 of the 5. You guys were missing on Nunez didn't start. He was a sub, and Pellegrino. All right. How about how about this question for you guys? Whoops. A lot of questions here, but I'll make sure I get it right there. So yeah, people got a good number of them right. Not all of them, but a good number of them. That was unfortunate. Not a great result. Not a great result. How about this question for the chat, or excuse me, for the panel? In the 2002-2003 run to the final, who was our first opponent that we had to face in our run to the final? What team was the first team we had to face in the League Cup final? In the League Cup run up to the final. 2002-2003. This is for the panel, by the way. So you guys there? Panel?
I'm just waiting for the lads and just chatting away here. They'll let Lee do his thing.
Yeah, I can't remember the first time in 2003 we played. Any suggestions, Lee? I don't know. I'm just thinking, pressing off the top of my head. Norwich or Ipswich. I don't know. Lee?
Sorry, guys, I was doing something then. Have we got a question?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Right. So basically, it's in 2003, the League Cup run. We won it. Who did we play in the first round, second round, or third round? Who was our first game against?
Ooh, Stoke. A wild guess, wild stab in the dark. Stoke.
Yeah. What do you reckon, bro?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So
Long old time ago.
Stoke,
It was a
Preston,
good
Norwich,
try by
Ipswich.
Norm got very close. But 2002, 2003, our first opponent was Bullish D got it right. Southampton was our first opponent in that run. Southampton.
Okay.
I thought you might get it because we were just talking about Southampton. That's why I asked the question. All right. Next run on this is to talk about basically our last opponent before making this final, and that was against Spurs. Yes, we did beat Ipswich on pens. However, we won against Southampton that year 3-1, actually, at Anfield, which is surprising. Surprised. Norm probably were at that game. Maybe maybe you're like hanging out with Ant or something.
He went to the toilet. He missed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe so.
The
Quick
queue was
wins.
long, you know. Long queue.
So next game was against Spurs. We lost 1-0 that first game. Even to this, it's still difficult to kind of think about because I really don't think that we deserve that loss, by the way, which is kind of crappy. But we've faced Spurs 4 times in this matchup. 4 times. Can you tell us our record against Spurs in the League Cup? This is for the chat. I'll give this one to the chat. What is our record against the Spurs in this tournament? What is our record in this tournament? Question stands. In this tournament, what is our record against the Spurs? Waiting and waiting and waiting. We'll see. Okay. So are you saying we are what is that? We are not well, this isn't just in the finals. This is just in this tournament, by the way. This is not just in the finals. This is our entire record versus Tottenham. I'm not going to give away how many times we've played them, but Norm is definitely breaking it down for us. Let's see. All right, I'm going to need an answer from someone in the chat. What is the win and loss record versus Spurs? Okay. We are going with we lost. So Norm is saying you lost 1 in ties against them and beat them for the rest. I guess you're saying. Do you guys want to take a guess at this one?
I'm thinking 1-3, lost 1.
1-3, lost 1. Okay. All time, yes, it's all time in the League Cup. In the League Cup, not in like all competitions.
Yeah, how many times have we played them over the years in the League Cup?
She's saying it's 4 times,
maybe
right?
4. I'd say maybe we've got 4 victories to their 1. Might be an extra one we forgot about.
Okay. It would be actually Desmond.
Oh, okay.
Desmond.
You what? A Desmond with Spurs?
Yeah. We had the 4-0 that we just, in the second leg that we won.
Mm-hmm.
We had 1-0 that we lost to them at their.
No, I was thinking like over the whole. I was thinking who come through the tie, not like who won how many games. I was thinking like the ties as a thing, like home and away.
Oh yeah, no, we lost to them.
Final. The same thing.
We're 1-1 in this last round with them because there's
okay.
Then in 2016, we beat them 2-1, and then in 2008, we lost to them 4-2. Actually, 2008 we lost 4-2.
Is that year when they won it under one day Ramos and then he went back to Madrid and we played Madrid in a way, so 09?
That might be.
Yeah, that's the year. Yeah.
That's their last trophy, isn't it? One day Ramos.
That's
Yeah.
pretty.
Surely beat Chelsea in the final, from what I remember. No, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Chelsea.
Yeah, to beat Chelsea. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when Chelsea lost all the finals and the league. That's a
Yeah.
mad year. Jeez.
All right.
I remember Mourinho calling us a small club around that time too.
There was a year. This one's for the chat, since you guys, or is this one you guys? Is it your turn actually? I think it's the panel's turn actually. There was a year we played a team 3 times in a row in the League Cup. We played them 3 times in the League Cup. Can you name that team and the year? I'll give you a hint. It was in the 80s.
We played him 3 times in the League Cup.
Yep. It actually happened twice.
It's got to be.
It happened once. So there's more than one answer.
It's got to be a final.
That would be one of them, Norm. And then, can you name the other one? I don't think the panel has the chat open, so this is still for the panel.
Everton or Spurs? I'm thinking. You guys reckon?
Um,
There was 2 teams that we played. There's
just
2
say it
teams
again. The criteria. What is it we're looking for?
So there was 2 teams. So there was 2 teams in the 80s. We played 3 times. This is when you could have a game, then you'd have a round replay, and then there was a second replay.
Yeah, that sounds suspiciously like Arsenal to me. Oh no, shit! That was the 90s. Hang on. That might have been the 90s. That bollocks.
I'm giving you a clue. It is in the 80s.
I'm thinking Everton. Don't know why.
Bullish D, you got the right team, but the wrong year. Norm got the right year. Right team, wrong year, but Norm got.
Who is it?
If you're not looking at it, I'm giving you guys a chance.
Yeah, I thought it sounded like Arsenal to me because we had to play Arsenal
Then go with that. Go with the answer.
Yeah.
Because that would be correct, actually. That'd be correct. 1989.
Yeah. I remember playing them in the 90s in like a replay as well, like where we had a couple of replays or something. There was there was a long semi-final. I think there was 3 semi-finals like against Arsenal in 1979 or 80, some shit like in the FA Cup. That's the FA Cup, obviously.
It was 1988, 1989 year, technically. But it was because it was in 1988 that it happened. But in 1988, 1989 League Cup run, we played Arsenal 3 times. We drew 1-1, 0-0, and we won 2-1. 2-1. It'd be even interesting, more interesting if you guys could name where those games took place.
Probably Villa Park and Old Trafford.
Those games took place in.
Yeah.
Villa Park will definitely be one. They always used Villa Park when it was a London side versus a Northwest Giants.
Yeah, Villa Park was always the one. Old Trafford, maybe.
Villa Park would be one. What about the other 2?
Brian said Old Trafford. Brian said that.
That's a good one.
Norm got the right ones. Got the right 3.
Oh, I thought they were neutral venues. Okay.
No.
This was the answer.
Right. Okay. Or the usual. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do them.
I would like to hear if you guys know the other one. Do you know the other time that we played 3 times in a row?
Was it the FA Cup, Arsenal?
No, it was League Cup.
League. I've got a feeling there. I'm sure it's Everton. Could be wrong on that. I'm sure it's Everton.
Arsenal 93, 94 or 92, 93? Was
You're
it?
close, very close.
94,
Very
95.
close. You're not very close, but it's still in the
Thank-
80s. It happened twice in the 80s.
Oh, bollocks.
It happened twice in the 80s. What's the other time? The other time it happened where we played a opponent 3 times in a row. It took 3 times to beat this team.
Oh, Man United. That's Man United. Oh, no, but they beat us. Shit.
Nope,
I'm wrong.
nope. It would be, I'll give you the year if that helps you guys get maybe closer to getting an answer. Do you want the year? Or is that too much? Is that too much? I'm waiting to see if Norm can get it too.
Yeah, my mind's straight into the FA Cup as well, like, and I can't banish it from my thoughts. So anything that comes out of my mouth is not valid at the moment. Sorry, guys.
Spurs in 84. That would be incorrect. It was not Walsall either. Walsall we played twice in 84, but not 3 times.
Was it York?
Is that your answer?
Yeah.
This team you would know. This team is a team that even if you are an avid supporter, you would still know of this team.
I'm trying to remember weird ones.
Smaller team or something like that. It's a London team. How about that? I'll give you that. Since they have so many teams.
Okay.
It's a London
Crystal
team.
Palace, isn't it? It's Crystal Palace.
Big up Dara. Maybe Dara will get it. Dara's good at the trivia. You guys just picked up another ringer in the chat.
Fulham or West Ham.
This question, Dara, is we played a team twice in League Cup. Like, excuse me, 3 times in a row in League Cup in the 80s. One was Arsenal in 1988-89. What was the second? What was the other team? It was not QPR. Wow, Norm is taking half court lobs.
West Ham.
Wasn't that West Ham either?
Fulham.
Boom, boom, boom. You're gonna go through all of them. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Fulham, 1983. We played them 3 times. Played them in the 3rd round of the League Cup. Played them once at the Cottage where we tied 1-1. Then we went to Anfield where we got where we tied them again 1-1. Then we went back to the Cottage for a second replay, and there we won 1-0.
No way. I come across Fulham in the 86-87 season on the Standing Cup when I was a kid, and we won 10-0. The banter with the goalie was funny, but he took it in good spirit. Like, we won 10-0. Like at Anfield in the League Cup on the way to the final that we lost against Arsenal. Keeper, give us a save. Keeper, give us a save.
And are you still drunk? And are you still drunk?
That was a good night. That 10-0.
All right, I got a question for you guys. This is we only got a few more. We only got a little bit more time because we already got with the Spurs. We're gonna give a quick little shout for the Newcastle, but there was only one occurrence. There's only one occurrence where we went from start to finish with nothing but W's. What year did we go from start to finish with all wins?
82.
Nope. Nope. It would be 1995.
I was in 95, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Nat Phillips' dad was in the Bolton side that day against us in the 95 final. Jimmy Phillips at left back.
Oh, is that his dad? Yeah.
Yeah, that's Nat Phillips' dad, Jimmy
Oh
Phillips.
yeah, the mid.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
the midfielder. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah. Just like a
yeah.
tidy, busy midfielder. Mm.
McManaman was floating around in that final and caused them some consternation. Old Jimmy
Yeah,
Phillips.
yeah, that was the McManaman final. That was.
Yeah, yeah. We
What
needed
is,
that,
I'll
didn't
ask
we?
this another one. This is another one. What is our longest win streak? What is our longest win streak in League Cup history?
Oh, that'd be
Yes.
quite long. That
That can obviously go from like one previous season to the next type situation. What's our longest win streak in League Cup history?
Let's see.
That's wins only, obviously. No draws, obviously no losses, but
Yeah, win streak.
does not include draws either.
Can't be. It's not the 90s. It can't be. Longest street. Gotta be no, is it double digits? Would it be? Or probably, or would it be? No, I don't think it would be, would it?
Everyone's going 4 in a row. 4 in a row. Interesting.
Seasons or the actual number, the actual winning streak.
Actual number. What's the so
Yeah.
again, it can be
Okay.
like it could go over, more than one season, possibly two. It could be 3 seasons that we did it, or it could be 2 seasons. I'll give you that much of a hint.
No, it can't be more than 2 to 3 because you already.
Like that would be
Is it?
that would be season most likely. But
Villa won it in '96, so it can't be. But without wins, without any draws.
I'm not giving a plus minus, but Dara, you are very, very close. Very close. Dara.
Could be single digits. What do you reckon, guys?
I just mean how, like, as in, we got a win, then another win, then another win. Like, how many wins in a row did we get before getting a draw or a loss?
Can't be double digits. It can't be.
What's the longest win streak we have? If we get
Score
knocked out, that means that streak ends. If we got knocked out, or even if it's a double, even if it's 2 legs, it would be, if we lost the first leg but then won the second leg, that streak ended with the loss.
Win streak.
Oh, apparently
Simple.
you and God no, Norm, because you got it right. But go ahead. I'll give the chat, or the panel one shot at it. Just pick a number. It should be kind of, I don't want to say easy, but it could be a little bit easier considering I just told you 94, 95 was the longest, or not 94, 95 was when we went undefeated from start to finish. So obviously 94, 95 is a part of the answer. Got a guess?
I'll say. I mean, I don't know if you want us to guess between me, Brian, and Lee, or individually.
No, I wasn't. I'm not in the door long as I wasn't really concentrating trying to get a few bits done. So I just
Okay.
didn't let Lee do it.
Oh,
But I had
okay.
the chat open because I was talking to someone. But Lee obviously is in the chat because he's talking to Norm as well.
He's talking
yeah.
to people. Oh, it's Lee. You're cheating out there. I got you.
Yeah, it's the longest winning streak, Barney. It's the longest winning streak.
Take a guess. Take a guess, Delonte.
I'll just say 7.
Okay. Norm got it correct. There was 11 wins in a row.
11?
Yes. 11 wins. In 1994-95, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There was 8 wins in a row in 1994-95 campaign. And then in 1995-96, we started off that campaign with 3 wins in a row. So that would be 11 wins completely in total.
I need to check this.
That's how it did. I can tell you the games. I'm looking at it right now. That's why I can tell you. But yeah, it was total guess. Okay. Unfortunately, we had 2 draws before that before the 94-95. But Dara was super close. He had 10. He guessed 10. But that was it. Yeah, we won 2 against Burnley. Then we played Stoke City. Then we beat Blackburn Rovers.
Oh yeah,
We beat Arsenal. Then we beat Crystal Palace twice. Then we beat Bolton. Then we beat Sunderland twice, and then we beat Manchester City.
Oh yeah, I forgot. During those times, he was still doing second round. Yeah, double legs. No wonder.
Double legs
yeah.
in the second round. Yep.
Yeah, no wonder it's gone up a bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of just the semi-final, just only the semi-final double legs. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. I'll ask you a quick follow-up question. Do you know what's the longest losing streak we've ever had in the League Cup?
Oh boy, that's 16. This is just a guess. I'm just gonna guess 4 or 5. Something like that. I'll just guess it.
Mm-hmm. You would be correct. 4 games.
Okay.
That's good guess.
Yeah.
So that's our longest losing streak in the League Cup is 4 games.
You know what's surprising about that stat too, by the way, is that was right around the air of possibly our best teams. Some of our best teams.
We've been knocked out the cup by some bad teams over the years, like some small clubs and that.
Yeah.
We've had some bad defeats over the years. But it's character building, isn't it, you say?
Character building, yeah. I don't think it was our worst loss. Oh, maybe I don't know where that is. Grimsby Town.
Oh, Grimsby. Oh yeah. We lost to Northampton as well on penalties. Oh, that was horrible. I think that was under Roy.
Maybe
but that's
Peterborough United, maybe.
Oof. Horrible.
I think maybe, or well, considering where QPR is, I guess you could say QPR. But back in the day, they were really good. I think.
Good. Yeah. They were good. Yeah. Once upon a time.
Bradford City. Oof. Okay. Don't know where that is. Those are some of our bad losses. Excuse me. But yeah, that was the question of what it was. Oh no, we beat them. But why I was bringing that up though, that run, even though we lost to some bad teams, that streak, I wouldn't say we lost the 2. We lost to, I'm surprised, I can tell Ant's not in the chat because Ant would have oh man. That's bad. Is that what happened? Is our bus broke down? I remember that. Wow. That's embarrassing. Yeah, those years that we lost, that was surprisingly 2017, 2018, and 2019. 2000,
Ooh, wow.
2000, yeah, 2016, 2017, we lost to Southampton in the semifinals.
We
And
did.
then
Yeah, yeah.
2017, 2018, we lost to Leicester. And then in 2018, 2019, we lost to Chelsea.
Oh
Oh,
yes,
got you.
Hazard.
Got you.
Hazard won the goal. That's true. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and he twisted our defenders inside out. Yeah.
It's surprising though, but I mean, like since 2020, 2021, you'd be surprised. I bet you. I bet you. Well, you probably can because you didn't announce it. But we've only lost twice since 2020, 2021. Technically, we only lost twice in the League Cup. It's pretty. That's pretty impressive. In regular time, I should say, only lost twice. But
Yeah, we've lost plenty of times.
yeah, because I think in 2020, I think Arsenal beat us in pens. I want to say, right? Yeah, 2020 was the year they beat us in penalties. They beat us 5-4 in penalties. But we drew. Technically, we drew the game in regular time. So, anyways, the Anfield South will be live and will be up in some real. Will really be popping. And is there anything you guys are looking forward to tomorrow's game? Anything that you guys wanted to say or anything? Oh, Grimsby was decent that year. Was a decent team. I don't know too much about Grimsby.
Clive Mendonca. He was Grimsby's like brilliant forward, and he was good. Clive Mendonca for Grimsby when Grimsby were good. I think that was the zenith of the whatever it is, Star or some shit like Grimsby having Clive Mendonca in the team, and he was scoring all the goals, wasn't he? That was
Yeah.
his brief flirtation with glory.
Got Charlton to the promised land. One of the best playoff games I've seen in history. The 4-4 draw with Sunderland on pens.
Oh, was that the best game?
That was one of the best games I've seen in playoff in terms of you going promotion 12 to the Premier League.
Okay. How about for you, Brian? What's the best Liverpool League Cup game you've seen?
Oh, have you done a preview of the, like, I just came in, there was a quiz. Have you done a preview already, or?
We did the preview. We did the preview yesterday.
Oh, right, okay. So is this it, like?
Mm-hmm. This is just. I was just review. We were just reviewing our road to the finals. Just reviewing the games that we had.
All right.
This morning. It was early morning for me. It was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I think, or something like that. But it was LFC TV play on their YouTube. Played all the games up to the final. So they played all the games back to back. And it was just a review of that.
All right. So I thought we were doing something about the final.
Oh, okay. No.
Right.
If you want to know who is going, I see there is a question from the chat too. I'm going to show you a little cool thing too. I'll show you this real quick. I wonder if Norm has this too, by the way. But I'll show you this. right. Hold on a second. And I'll give you the updates on who is fit as well, by the way, Bernie. I'm going to bring that up for you in 1 second. Let me just do this here. This was the ticket, actually, for that final. Back when it was called the Worthington Cup, by the way. This was the ticket. 2003. Pretty cool. Yeah, Norm's got it. I figured as much. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Millennium Stadium in Cardiff.
When it was called the Rumbelows Cup, that made me laugh when Fergie won it in '92 to get his second ever trophy. That was just a funny name, Rumbelows. The Rumbelows Cup.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Carabao, it's not too bad. It's close to Carabao, and there's a good song called that by Pixies. It's had some shit names, though. The Milk Cup, it was called when we won it, like,
Yeah, the Milk Cup
in the 80s, the Milk Cup, yeah. Milk's not bad, though. That's a good name, innit? It's well better than Rumbelows, like, innit? You know what I mean? Rumbelows, I mean, it just sounds silly, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. That's what when you win, like, when you win.
He was made up. He was doing that thing where he was like moving his arms to the crowd and that, like, after he'd won the Rumbelows Cup in '92. The old Fergie fella, like. But yeah, that was its funniest name for me. Rumbelows. The Rumbelows Cup.
Yeah. There is I'm trying to think of what event it is. Let's double check and see. The Indy 500. That's what it is. At the Indy 500, when you win the Indy 500, you drink milk. Actually, as like I don't know why. But
yeah, it didn't have a sponsor until it was the Milk Cup. I don't think that was the first sponsor it ever had when it was sponsored by milk, of all things. Yeah. Then it had all sorts of names. I mean, the FA Cup's got a different sponsor all the time, but people still say the FA Cup. I just call this the League Cup. You know what I mean? I don't call it what the sponsor is. Just call it the League Cup. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why they drink milk, but they drink milk after they win it. Did they drink milk? Did they drink milk when oh wait, this is probably causing me to got videos on it. Did they drink milk when we won the Milk Cup? That's a good question.
Apparently it's really good for like your nails and your hair milk. So it's always a good idea to drink, quite a bit of it, like. Or at least have it on your cereal. If you're not into drinking it, just lob it on your cereal, like, and get it into your system that way.
What else would you put on your cereal?
To answer Bernie's question, the only players that we have out for tomorrow are Tyler Morton, Connor Bradley, Joe Gomez, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. So that's 4 players out. For Newcastle, they have 4 players out as well. 3 from injury, 1 from suspension. They have Hall, Botman, Lascelles, right? And Gordon are the 4 players they have out, which is pretty.
No, it's quite devastating for them, like, to have that many players out because they haven't got as large a squad, have they?
I was going to say the opposite. I was going to say that the players that they have out might be devastating, but the number of players is pretty exceptional considering it's this late.
Well, they're going to have a right footer at left back, aren't they? By the looks of it, it'll be Trippier or Livramento, won't it, at left back, Mark and Mo, instead of that. Lewis Miley one fella did good, didn't he? He was good in that game. The last game, he was good at Anfield. even though we won on that like quite easy, he was one of the standout players. Like, so he is quite a loss. Him and Gordon like together in it. Lascelles not been in the team as much in recent years, but still he's a pick for them in at centre half. I don't really like Burn. I think Burn can be got at like big time, and I hope he picks Jota to do it. I hope Jota tortures him tomorrow. That Burn.
Yeah, we went through, Brian. If you want to get your, we did do a actual. We made our picks for who we thought was going to get, who we thought Slot is going to choose for tomorrow's starting 11. If you want to tell us who you think is going to get the start, you can get that in.
No,
too.
that's fine. It's just because I misled Mighty Mag earlier on because I thought you were just doing a quick quiz and then you were going to do a pre-game thing. I said, hang on, we'll be getting to the game soon. So sorry about that, Mighty Mag.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we got to the game. We did a preview yesterday, and then today was just more of like the run up from how do we get from point A to here. That's all I was doing today. I've got some other shows lined up for after during the break, the international break. But yeah, for right now, I was trying to keep it finals related in the sense of keeping our eyes on the prize. But yeah.
One of the funniest things about like being flagged off for winning the League Cup by rivals is when Everton fans do it, because Everton have never won the League Cup. It's a trophy that you've never ever won. And you hear this endlessly from Evertonians in the city that it's a Nottingham trophy, that it's a piece of shit. Mate, they give their right arm to win the League Cup.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great point. That's a great point. Yeah, the starting lineup that I have, maybe Mighty Mag might have a different starting lineup that he thinks is going to start. He certainly probably would know better than myself as to or having a pulse on a finger on the pulse of what Newcastle might bring out. But the lineup I think they're going to go with was Barnes, Isak, Murphy. Joe Linton is available, Bernie. So I think Joe Linton, Tonali, and Bruno G in the midfield. Then Livramento, Byrne, Shar, Trippier, and then Pope in keeper for them. That's the lineup I have for them.
That's a good 11. That's a good start. Like, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, still a very formidable 11, despite not having Gordon, despite not having Hall or Botman. It's still a very, very good lineup, I think. And that's just my prediction. That's my predicted lineup. I don't know if that's what Eddie Howe is going to go with or not.
It will be nice to be taking Newcastle on instead of playing fucking Chelsea or someone in a final. You know what I mean? We had some terrible League Cup finals against them, haven't we? It'd just be nice for a change to be playing somebody else, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The lineup that I'm second guessing my original alley pick. I want to go Kelleher in goal. So I don't know if he's going to play him or not, but I'd like to see him give Kelleher to start. I had Kwanzaa, Kanate, Virgil, Robbo. I wouldn't mind seeing Endo, which was suggested by Norm and suggested by Nolante as a starter, but I do have Grav, Maka, and then I have Salah. I remember someone opted Curtis Jones in for Dominic, but I still have Dominic starting, and I have Lucho. Some had Cody starting instead of Lucho, but I have Lucho starting. And up front, I want to go with Nunez. Hopefully, he will go with Nunez, but there's no guarantee. With
my heart says Darwin, but my brain says Jota.
Yeah,
I want to see Jota up against Bear and Shaw.
Yeah. Who do you have anything different in your lineup, Brian?
Is it what I think he's going to go with, or what I want?
Yeah, I think he's going to go with. That's what I think he's going to go with. That's what I announced. I did say who others would like to see involved. That was from yesterday's show. So I remember Norm wanted Endo. I think Nolante wanted Endo. I think some I forget who some suggested Curtis Jones starting. Some suggested even it was JK that had us going with a 4-2-2-2 actually for tomorrow. I don't see that happening, but and in it he had a different lineup. He didn't have obviously Hata or Nunez starting. He had a front four. But what is your? Do you want to throw in any
It's only whether
substitute lineup
Gakpo is
you're
fit. If
suggesting?
Gakpo is fit, you know,
You still think
the rest kind of picks itself for me. You know, it's you've
start?
got the.
If
I'd
he
go
is
with
fit,
Ali.
yeah.
Sorry, I'd go with Ali, Robbo, two boys, Kwanzaa. The midfield three picks itself. His midfield three, I mean,
Mhm.
uh, Salah, Jota, maybe not. Who knows? Depends on how they've looked in training. Uh, and if Gakpo is fit, I'd have uh, I'd have Gakpo, Diaz, Salah, but I don't know if he's fit enough, especially for a game at Wembley. You know, but Jota hasn't done himself any favors.
Mhm.
Nunes hasn't done himself any massive favors. So I suppose it depends on because he thought I didn't want to go, but he spoke a bit on the training thing, which I thought was very interesting. In
Yeah,
terms of
yeah.
people that aren't
I
playing
have a
don't train
yeah. I have
with
an
the
actual piece
squad.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't. They don't train with the squad if they haven't played in the previous game. Well, that's very interesting. Um, yeah, so I think you'd be looking at them. I'd love to see Cody start, but I don't. If without the minutes in his legs, he'd probably bring him on maybe. So that would suggest Diaz, Salah, and what will he go with? Probably go with Diogo. Don't know. Really, I don't know, man. Honestly, I don't know what he's thinking because, yeah, it's not like neither of them, like Bullish is saying, Jota's stinky recently. Nobody's really kind of said, I'm the man, you know? Uh,
Yeah.
I
Cody's
would
been
like to see Gakpo, Diaz, Salah. I'd like to see that.
Cody's been off it too. So
Well, he's been injured. So, I mean, he came back and he had a
I'm aware of
bad
that, and
half.
it's still been off of it. I get what you're saying though.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, he hasn't really had a chance to kind of mess it up. So yeah, I don't know. He's got some decisions to make. I don't know what he's going to do. What I would do, probably Diaz, Jota, Salah. Probably what I'd do, but I'd go with the same. I'd go with the midfield. I think the fullbacks are fine. Kwanzaa has to start really.
Mhm.
Um, Ibu's okay, so he starts. A lot of talk really is Ali or Kelleher. That seems to be a bit of a talking point. I would go with Ali personally. That's what I do. But
Mm.
yeah, he's got some choices to make up front, really, and it's unfortunate that Cody isn't 100%. Well, a big pitch, long game. I think he should be kind of. He probably might have an eye on just in case it goes to extra time kind of thing. He might have some of that in the back of his mind. And Darwin's a great lad to bring on to against a tired team.
Hmm.
I mean, could you imagine Gakpo? Imagine like it's 80 or it's what I say 72 minutes, and you see Gakpo and Nunes coming on.
Hmm.
Like those are that's not going to be easy to deal with for Newcastle. I think our bench will be a lot. I don't know what Mighty Mag might tell us if he's kind of confident with their bench, if they have anyone to bring on that might change a game for them. But I think we could kind of start solid and then keep those game changers on the bench because no
Hmm.
tired defense would want to see Darwin coming on rare to go running behind Gakpo as well. You got to watch him, and then you'll probably still have Salah.
The bench would
So
be like um, Joe Willock, Callum Wilson, Longstaff, obviously Dubravka's the goalkeeper, but Target, Kraft, Millie, Asula, excuse me, and Sean Nieve or Nave.
not sure.
Yeah.
He's thinking Willock as a super sub. Callum Wilson is a decent player, but it's probably not somebody you'd want to need to come on. Maybe Callum Wilson, but yeah. Look, big pitch, big occasion, tired legs. We've got 180 minutes in our legs, 120, and a penalty shootout.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's just coming with fresh legs and fresh minds. Who looks up for it in training? Who's been impressing him in training? So I think 90% of it picks itself. But what were you thinking? I don't know because I haven't had a lot of time the last couple of days. What are you thinking about the goalkeeper? Is it a 50-50? Is everyone going Kelleher?
I
Or
think
what's the
50. You know, I think that, like I mentioned earlier, in the start of the show, I mentioned this, but um, why I was saying it's 50-50 is because surprisingly, yes, Ali started that first leg against Spurs, but then Kelleher got that second start
yeah
at Anfield.
yeah
So um, I'm not certain as to I'm not certain as to who's definitely going to get the start, but I think that they are. I think that I wouldn't mind seeing Kelleher get the start. To be honest with you, I think he's earned it. To be honest with you, in my opinion, I think he's earned it. He's gotten us there.
yeah yeah. Hard to know because yeah. Well, I just thought at the start it was going to be usual kind of Kelleher all the way.
Hmm.
You know, like Klopp did it, but then yeah, that came to a halt because Ali came back, but Ali was out with an injury, so he came back to get some minutes, and then Cows comes in again, so
Hmm.
that's another call for him. I think as a manager, first season, I wouldn't blame him for playing safe because
Hmm.
it's like when you look at it now, like Ali, we can all agree is the best keeper in the world. We don't have any more really meaningful games for quite a while now. I mean, we've kind of got the league wrapped up. We've got an international break. We've got no more Champions League. So it could be the last chance for Kelleher to get a big game for us, but also as a manager in his first season, like it's his job to win the trophy. It'd be interesting just to see again. Like these are some slot things we haven't seen him do before. So does he kind of say, "Sorry, Keller, look, I'm going to go with the main man," or does he do the "you're my cup keeper" thing?
I think that yeah,
Who knows?
I think
I'm
he
not.
should
I'm
have.
not.
Especially the way
I'm
he
not
spoke
sure.
on it. I did do a write up on basically an opinionated write up on um, his comments that you referred to earlier about his the way that he um, looks at how it's difficult for players like Chiesa or like Elliott to get into games primarily or get starts because of the way that there are so many games and games after games they don't normally play those players that played go into like a recovery day, so they don't necessarily train and you're not training together and the likes.
That was
uh,
weird, man.
it is a
It,
very
he almost
weird.
made it sound like they trained separately, didn't he? It
Yeah,
almost made it sound like they actually trained separate. It's like, can you expand on like what goes on there? Like
yeah, yeah.
that's a new one on me.
Which is very very unique, like as in I don't want to give too much away from what I wrote, but yeah, that was very uniquely put, and like it's he the way he refers to the way he talks about it and the way he talks about his training situation where just that where they don't technically train together, as he put it. um it goes against what he said about he thinks that teams should have big squads. He said he literally said he thinks that teams should have big squads, but yet he prefers to play with a small squad or small 14 to 15 man rotation. So it's kind of interesting that you would say, I think Premier League teams should have big squads. That's a direct quote by him. But at the very same time, you go off and say that or from what you um, utilize in your everyday doings is you play with 14 to 15 man squad. It's kind of a contradiction, or even a slight contradiction, if not, if it is that you like to play with you want a big squad and you're only going to play 14 or 15 members of that squad, there's going to be at least seven, 8 players on that squad that don't get to play, that really aren't going to be looked at as being viable players, much less getting the opportunity to even get and win an opportunity to get into that starting lineup. It was a weird set of, like, when he said it, I really was confused about it. So we can get into it more during the break. We can definitely have an episode for it. I definitely want to have an episode on the breakdown of it, because it's something that I think that needs to be clarified and really properly understood, because I don't really give my thumbs up of approval on some of the reasoning behind what he has to say. But we'll see. Did you want to get a score prediction? I think we all got in our score. I think I went 3-1 for my score prediction. Lee, what was your score prediction again?
2-1.
2-1. Nolante,
Yeah,
what was
as
your score?
optimistic as we can get. 2-1.
Okay. What was your score prediction, Nolante? Abdul's going 2-1. Right?
I think Pens. Unfortunately.
All right. Never do anything easy. This club sometimes. Okay.
Exactly. In all cup finals, we never do. That's the annoying thing.
All right. Yeah. Mighty's got the Desmond sermon at
Yeah, but who wins on pens, mate? If you're saying it goes full time, 2-2 is. Come on, Mike Mag. Who wins on pens? Do you think they'll snatch it in extra time?
Oh, you snatch it in extra time.
Okay.
Oh, so you're thinking it goes 2-2, pushes it to extra time, and then you win in extra time. Got you. 2-1 seems to be a common score here for the chat, at least. And or Pens. Mo has to raise his game. He has to. If there's anything he can do, it would be, since a lot of people have fallen out of love for Mo's chances of winning the Ballon d'Or. This is a big game. It's not necessarily a high-profile game internationally. However, it is for something significant, and it would be beneficial for him to have a fantastic game in this competition final. Hash is going 1-0. All right, I got you. Brian, did you want to get a score in there?
I'd be just. I don't think we're going to blow them out of the water for and like 3-4 and stupid like that. So yeah, I'd be kind of pretty much with the chat. A very narrow win, like a 2-1 or don't see 1-0 cup finals though, But what somebody said the other day, like 8. We've had like 13 cup finals. 8 of them went to penalty shootouts or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy percentage of the amount of penalty shootouts we've had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take that, pops. Let's do a throwback. Let's have a classic. Let's have a classic.
Yeah, that's
I mean, I've seen
I'm sick of these
one-sided
boring cup
finals,
finals.
but they're exceedingly rare, aren't they? One-sided finals, it's a final for a reason because there's two very good sides in it. So I think it's going to be a close game.
It's just
2-1.
it's the mentality of them, Lee.
2-1's
They
about
always
as
become
optimistic as I can get. Like with this, I'd say a 2-1 win for us in 90 minutes.
yeah, they always leave. They always become very cagey and very kind of must not lose quite early on.
Mhm.
So if you get an early goal, it'll open it up, and then you've got a chance. But if it's 0-0 after 20 minutes, it's like, oh god, you know. But I just don't want another one. I don't want another one of those like real tetchy, close fought cup finals. I just want a good game, like a 2-2, 3-3, and then we go on and win it. That'd be great. But I'd take a narrow win. I think hopefully, our ability to change things off the bench will be the difference maker.
Mhm.
Hopefully, I would just that might win it first. Or a bit of quality off the bench because Isak can't play 120 minutes at top, full pelt. So if they need to do that, and the same with Barnes hasn't played a lot of football. So yeah, a narrow win. I think we'll win it by a goal.
Yeah, they're a good enough set of players. That's a good enough starting 11 for Newcastle to give us a really good game.
Exactly. Yeah.
It just falls short, like by the odd goal in 3.
Mhm. All right. All right.
Can I just
Good.
ask Mighty Mag for his opinion? If Eddie Howe doesn't win this trophy, if again he's up against us, but if Eddie Howe doesn't win this and doesn't finish in the Champions League, will he be out of a job, or is he kind of secure? Could this be his last season, Eddie Howe, at Newcastle? And how are the fans? What is the fans' general opinion of Eddie Howe up in the northeast there?
It's an interesting one because the fans do
Oh,
like
are they?
him.
Sorry,
He's
pops. They're
got a
still in
good
the
job.
FA Cup. Sorry, they're still in the FA Cup. Sorry, yeah, they still have the FA Cup. But if he doesn't win a
They're out.
trophy this
It's the owners, isn't it?
Try
Like
and
it's
beat
the
them,
owners' opinion.
Pops. They're out.
year, hang on, Lee. They're out. They are okay. So
Yeah,
this is the
try
only
and
cup
beat
they
them.
can win.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Robert's
Oh,
broken
Brighton
cross.
did beat them. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is his only chance of a trophy, realistically. So if Eddie Howe doesn't get this trophy and he finishes, okay, so Arson, this is asking all the time, and yes, he could be out in the summer if he fails Champions League and no cup. Okay, okay. And do you have a preferred replacement in mind or anything like that? Yeah, he's been there a while, hasn't he, Eddie Howe now? 4 years,
Yeah, he's done
maybe.
well, man. Yeah,
Oh,
he's done
wow.
well. But
I've always liked him for what it's worth. Like, it doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things, but I think he's a decent manager. But I don't think he's at the level that Newcastle are going to want Hardy for their project for very much longer. I think he's living on borrowed time, like, isn't he?
yeah, he is. No, all good pops. No problem. All good pops. But I personally think if they get rid of Eddie Howe, there's one name they're going to be going for straight away, and they will
Big
link with
move.
him. Yeah,
Big
I
move.
think. Yeah, if I speak, I'll be in
There
trouble.
will be trouble.
Yes, indeed.
AJ, how we doing,
Indeed,
mate?
bro. Big up, KJ. I think they're going to go target him straight away. And yes, it's I mean, it's a difficult one because Mourinho is not the prime Mourinho of old, but he's still a good manager. And it's interesting, but it depends on it. I mean, like you said, Mags, he can speak about Eddie Howe's done well. He's done a great job for them. But again, with the owners like these, they want to be winning stuff. So I mean, them, we obviously we hope it won't be Sunday tomorrow. Oh God, today's Saturday, tomorrow. But yeah, if it's a difficult one, it's a difficult one. That's the thing. As good as he's done, how we all know how these owners works. They want trophies or something, or Champions League. So yeah,
If you'd have said to me a few years ago, do you ever want to see Mourinho back in the Premier League? I'd been no, mad enough of him. But now I've mellowed to him since he's not in the Premier League. So if he comes back, like, it'd be a laugh, like, wouldn't it? Be a laugh to have him back in the Premier League, like, I did like all the stuff he said about Guardiola, like in the trophies. That was dead funny, that little tete-a-tete between them, like in the media, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I've mellowed to him, like, over the years, like, and if
Okay,
you think
115.
I greet him with open arms at this point.
Yes. 115, no? But I want my team of hard work, but didn't. 115, yeah, no?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
called it a small club. I think it was about circa 1997. No, sorry, 2007. It was after we'd done twice in semi-finals. Like he had to cover
Oh,
and
yeah.
we
The best team
small.
lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he always says when he gets his knickers in a twist. I mean, despise him against us, but as a manager, if I take us, I like him. Even when he was in the Premiership, he was good for the Prem. I mean, obviously, as a manager, he's putting your wits. I welcome him back for one more run, his last run in the Prem.
Yeah,
But
yeah. There's room for him still, isn't there? There's room at the top.
yeah. I think Newcastle. Yeah, he can't go to any of the other clubs. He's been in there. He won't. He'll never go to us. We'll never take him anyway. So yeah, it's Newcastle's the only one I can
Be
see.
honest with me, in my opinion, there's those more sensible choices for them. Like, but if they go for Jose because he's tried and tested, then fair play. Do it.
Yeah. To get rid of Eddie Howe, but again, it's hard, man, because Eddie Howe's done a good job. It's just that it just hasn't been luck with the trophies. That's the thing, and I mean, if I don't know, you guys think as neutrals, if I'm new, I'll keep Eddie for another year or two. If I was the owner of Newcastle, see
What
what
I
see.
think,
Mm,
what I think they should do now is what you're saying. Sorry, and no
yeah,
one's mentioned because he's locked in now. Uh, it's gone different ways, but he's locked in, and I think maybe they would have wanted a blue chip manager when they took over, and in more in terms of like being able to attract players because you can imagine the average guy out there would be more like Eddie Howe, more like Eddie Who, whereas Ancelotti is there, Mourinho is there. So okay, that attraction of the big manager at a club with money and ambition, whereas the Eddie Howe pull factor isn't very big, if you get what I'm saying. It's not like you're never going to get, you'll see a lot of kind of press conferences with players and be like, oh yeah, it was, the part of the club was one thing, but also, Mr. Mourinho or Mr. Klopp, we all, that kind of, or Mr. Ancelotti always wanted to play when I got the call, that kind of thing. You don't really see Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall having that kind of attraction. But I think Nagelsmann would be a guy that they would like to go for, but he's locked in. I think he's kind of committed to Germany now for
yeah,
that World Cup thing. But he would be kind of like the super coach because now it's gone more from the kind of the overcoat managers to the coach type thing. And I think Nagelsmann would be if I was Newcastle, I'd probably be trying to test his contract, his commitment to Germany. I think he would suit them because he would be an attractive name also for the younger generation of players. But he's taking his time out, like a Nagelsmann or a Tuchel. That type, even though they're both doing their international thing now. Uh, but yeah, I think maybe that's someone they would be Julian Nagelsmann or this up and coming guys. But I think at the start of the project, they would have liked to have had a big name man, like a Mourinho at the start or Ancelotti, that kind of guy.
I was going to even
But
go as far as to say, you said having the attraction, Eddie Howe having the ability to keep players because of his, his. I mean, there's players that wanted to not only come to Liverpool but wanted to stay with Liverpool simply because of Klopp. I don't know if Eddie Howe has that kind of same pull either way in either direction.
no, I mean, uh, Newcastle can offer big wages, which is a very big part of it. I mean, if uh, a certain team wants you, and Newcastle can put an extra 60 grand a week on the table, then that's probably going to sort it out. But
Yeah, agreed.
um, Same went for Emery. Yeah, Emery. That's the kind of thing. Emery, Ancelotti. These kind of high pedigree kind of coaches and all that.
Mm.
Um,
Emery at Newcastle would be a very formidable.
and he'd be great. Yeah, and he'd be
Yeah,
great.
that'd be different settings for Newcastle.
I think if Howe can get fifth place and get them into the Champions League, that might keep him in his job. But alternatively, it might not. Like they might go, right, we're in the Champions League now. Let's get a better manager.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I think you're right, Lee. It depends. I mean, 'cause if they don't finish Champions League, then they'll go get Mourinho. In my opinion, Jose. So it really all depends. If he qualifies, then they'll keep him on until another name comes available that they want.
I don't know if Mourinho is a great choice for them, to be honest with you.
It's all great or not, but I think they've been circling around him for a lot. I remember before the takeover, they wanted him, but I mean, in terms of a name, he tracked a lot.
Certainly. I just don't know if he's one for the future for the club.
Well, I think considering how well Slot's done in his first season, there's going to be quite a few managers getting sacked, isn't there, this summer? And they're going to start taking gambles, aren't they?
Yeah, agreed. Well, where the Newcastle train ends up going, whatever station it ends up going in, it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, it'll be a well-spirited competition tomorrow. How about that, Mighty Mag? And one where both our teams do us proud. So how about that? I'll go. That's as far as I'll go.
Keep an eye out for Bruno v. McAllister.
Yeah, any side will win. Any
Brazil
side will
versus
win. Will do.
Argentina.
Say again.
That'll be a nice battle. I think Bruno versus McAllister in the middle. That'll be a proper battle.
Yeah, I think
They'll be trying to get the upper hand.
It'll be a proper matchup for either, for any of the, for even the rival, the neutral, or even obviously a supporter club. There will be certainly a good case to say that it'll be a good game tomorrow for all to see. But we're going to be bringing our show to a close for today, at least. Tomorrow we'll be doing a roll call. So hopefully you'll be together for the roll call. Anything you'd like to say to the people before we let them do their thing?
My right in hearing that Sandro Tonali has put a bet on himself to score.
As allegedly. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Brian, do you have anything you'd like to say?
No, I was just saying to Mighty Mag is asking if he's going, but if he's not, he's just saying tickets like gold dust. But wherever you're watching it, everyone do enjoy it. But and Mighty Mag, come back in Monday night maybe or whatever not necessarily after the game, but come back in on Monday and we'll have a chat about what you thought about how it went. You might be celebrating, we might be celebrating, who knows? But it'd be good to get your take on the game afterwards. So make sure you check back in, mate. And thanks for being in tonight and giving us your opinions and your thoughts.
Yeah, and thank you for being respectful too. By the way, you're definitely no crazy talk or no trying to push buttons. I appreciate that. Definitely civil conversation. Definitely appreciate it. But yes, Nalante. Anything you'd like to say?
Just a quick big up to Mo winning a 7th consecutive record Player of the Month award. Big up Mo for that. First player in Premiership history to do that, so big himself up.
Wow.
Big up
Say that again. Nalante, he won 7 what?
No, he's seventh player of the month. That's a record as a
nice.
player. Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
Impressive.
for February. So yeah, so big up Mo for that, man. That's again a little achievement there. More record breakings.
Exactly.
Uh,
Everything you know the
Is that
record.
March or is that just for February that they gave it?
no, February,
Okay.
not for
Last
March.
month.
Yeah, then in the month. So they're just a bit late on it. That's all. And yeah, I mean, we go again. I mean, disappointment. A lot of discussions, and we go again tomorrow. And there's a trophy to be won, regardless of it. It's another one to add to the vocab, and let's hope it'll be another Wembley day, South day. Although I said penalties, I just pray. And if I could speak to a lot of the players, please don't go extra time. Please, please no. Please don't.
Mhm.
Please don't.
Hey, not another
Yeah.
penalty shootout. Bloody hell.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting tired of it in finals, especially
Oh, yeah.
opposition. Yeah, I'm getting tired of it. I'm fed up, honestly. Please.
I
I'm not
have
going to
this
watch it.
weird thing with them, Delante. I have this
Yeah.
weird thing with now, but not with us, right? I hate
Mhm.
you hate games going dragging on, dragging on, dragging on. But
Yeah.
like the games, I bloody love penalty shootouts though. Like when it's not, I love penalty shootouts. They're like when you
Mm.
get a drab game or whatever, it's 0-0 and people are playing, and then it goes to pens. The
Yeah.
drama is brilliant. It's fantastic. I mean, when it's France versus Brazil or something, something
Yeah.
like that. I don't want us to do it, but
The Alvarez
uh,
law is
bloody
being
love penalty
enacted, isn't it?
shootouts.
Like
I
the
really
the
do.
Alvarez law has come into effect now that it won't happen next year or something.
Typical bloody UEFA. They wait until one of their shit rules gets exposed for being
Once
stupid,
Real
and then they
Madrid
go
do,
and
yeah.
fix it.
There's
Yeah.
going to be a new one next
Okay.
year
But
where
someone
they
made that really good point, lads. I know you might have mentioned, it, but like where if the guy scores but the keeper goes off his line, like that
Oh yeah.
has to be retaken.
Mhm.
Whereas like the guy that scored it did nothing wrong, but the keeper breaks it and they have to retake it.
Mhm.
Or like
Silly.
if he's, you know what I mean? But now it's like, oh, but if this guy makes a mistake and they go, but you can't retake it, like that's just so stupid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Agreed,
just
bro.
really stupid. It's like, yeah, and now of course, oh, actually, yeah, that's kind of a dumb thing. Let's look at that again. Typical, like tell that to the Atleti fans that have just got knocked out of the Champions League by Madrid for like the 700th time.
Yeah.
Bit late
I
for
don't
them, isn't it?
understand it. I've
To
looked at it loads of times and tried
be
to
fair, he
understand
did.
that, like why
He
he
missed
did
it, but
that.
then again, so did the next. So did
I mean, the cynical man would say that was a
Rent.
ploy.
So did the next guy too. He missed as well. He missed badly, actually. He missed
Yeah.
actually. Alvarez actually made it, but I am going to bring up some Alvarez news on probably Monday. We'll just still, let's just look at what we've got on our plate for today and tomorrow. So I'll bring up the Alvarez conversation Monday, but True Jordy is on the bench for them. Oh, okay, if he is,
Jesus.
good luck to him then.
Yeah. If he's in central defense, easy. It's easy work.
We've seen him play. We've seen him try to play football. Luck to you.
Not convinced about that. Dan Burn will say that before the action kicks off. Dan Burn could be the source of our goals tomorrow.
Maybe. Um. Okay, KJ. Okay, save
You
that
heard
for
it here
for
first.
Monday. I got you. We're gonna let you guys go. We appreciate the fact that there was so many of you that joined the chat today. So many that the number just went up. So many that are still a part of the chat even to the end of this stream. So definitely appreciate that. We're going to be live for a roll call tomorrow. So please do show the same amount of heart and chest tomorrow to show that we are behind our team and walk shoulder to shoulder with each other in our pursuit of a number 11 to go up on the wall. So so big up Norm. Safe travels to you, Norm, or any of those going to the game. safe travels to you. Safe travels to any of those going to watch the game at their pub or at their friend's house or just at home or at work, wherever it is. Please do join us tomorrow. We will definitely be looking forward to seeing you. But as always, enjoy the game tomorrow. You too, Mighty Mag. But most importantly, up the Reds, people. Up the Reds. Always and forever. So we will see you guys tomorrow. And as always, take care.